Are you ready for Sunday school, kids?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to St. Thomas Church in Stittsville. I'm Merilee Clark, and I've got a wonderful, amazing story to tell you today. And after that, we'll do a couple of crafts, and then we'll sing a song. Okay? So I'm going to read you the verse in the Bible that this story comes from. It comes from the book of John. He wrote, "The beginning of his signs, Jesus said, 'Fill the water pots with water.' The head waiter tasted the water from which had become wine, and he did not know where it had come from." Water had turned into wine? That's something to think about. I don't know how you'd do that. Well, sometimes we get newspapers at the door and we kind of flip through them and just have a look and see what's going on in the neighborhood. We can see all the different things that are happening, and they tell us events that are coming up and other things like that. But imagine that they had a newspaper like this in Jesus' time. And Jesus turned water into wine, which is something nobody had ever seen before. It would have been the headlines. It would have been like that. Biggest words ever, saying, "Oh my goodness, a wedding guest turns water into wine." At this time, nobody knew who Jesus was. He was just starting his ministry, and this is the first miracle he ever did. So nobody could figure it out. How did he do that? Well, on Tuesday, I'm going to read you what it would look like if it were in the newspaper here today, okay? And I'm going to read what it might have said if they had a newspaper back then. On Tuesday, a woman named Mary was in Canaan to attend a wedding. A large number of guests included her son, a man named Jesus. He also attended the wedding. Guests at the wedding were reportedly having a good time until the host ran out of wine. At that point, it seemed that the happy celebration might turn into a disaster. Some of the wedding guests thought that perhaps Jesus might have the solution to the problem, including his mother. So his mother said to him, "Can you help them? Can you please help them?" At first, Jesus seemed unwilling to help. But after some encouragement from his mother, he finally agreed to do something. Eyewitnesses at the wedding report that Jesus noticed several large jars sitting around just filled with water. So he told the man that's taking charge of all the wine that the water was filled in the jars, but to take that water and pour it into wine jugs. And the man thought, I can't serve water to all of our guests. They'll all go home. That's a terrible idea. But finally he was convinced, so he took the water from the big jug and poured it into a wine jug. And you know what happened? He took the water and he poured it in. And it was wine. And he could not believe it. Oh my goodness, how did you do that? But they started giving out the wine to everybody, and they were all saying, "This is the best wine we've ever tasted. This is the best wedding we've ever gone to." After the result of this miraculous event, many people were following Jesus wherever he went, hoping to see another miracle. And many believed that he might be the long-awaited Messiah, that Son of God, that they had been waiting thousands of years for. Maybe he had come already. What do you think? Do you think the Son of God has come? I think so. This happened 2,000 years ago. And this, what I did here, was just a little trick, because I can't turn water into wine. But that's just a little trick that I did, just to show you how excited the people were to see that it actually happened. That's amazing. Well, it made a pretty good news story. And over 2,000 years ago, we still remember that story. In 2,000 years, we remember all the miracles that he did because his disciples wrote them all down. If they hadn't have written them all down, we wouldn't have our Bible. So you should read your Bible more often and find out all the wonderful things that Jesus did to help people and how he wants us to help people as well, even if we can't perform miracles. Let's say a prayer. Dear Jesus, worker of miracles, give me eyes to see your miracles in the world around me. And please work a miracle in me today. Amen. Hi, welcome to God's Garden Craft Corner. I'm going to show you a couple of other tricks on how you could make water turn into wine. The first one will entail just a tube that you get from the paper towels, okay? And in that paper tube, after you've decorated it, you're going to put some blue tissue paper. You see, I'm putting water into my tube. It's going to go all the way down to the other side. And then I'm going to pull it out to the other side. Okay? Jesus made water into wine. It's now turned into purple. Isn't that kind of cool? You could do that trick with anybody, eh? And I'll put the wine back in so that we can do it again. And I'll show you how to do it, okay? So the first thing you're going to need is a tube and some kind of construction paper. This time I chose black because often magicians use black, but we're going to put some stars and some sparkles on it too. So I measured it just so that it would be enough to roll around this one. Okay, so you don't need the whole piece. Just cut off the piece that you don't need. Okay, and then just put a little bit of glue. Open it. I used it. I just come out. So that one's not working for me. Well, there's the reason. It's a brand new bottle of glue, and I forgot to take the stopper out. Well, now a miracle. It didn't work, and now it does. All right, there we go. Okay. Never know when miracles can happen, eh? Okay, so then I'm just going to roll it around. Hold it for a couple of seconds here to make sure it's going to stick. And then I've got some stars and some stickers and things like that to put on it so that we can just decorate it any way you want to. And then it can be your magic wine maker. You could also use it as grape juice. You could say that it's water into grape juice. That would work too. There we go. Lots of stickers. Stars. That's the fun part, finding the stars and stickers in. I like putting stickers on everything. Okay. You can continue putting them on all over if you want to. You could even put some sparkles on it if you want to do that too. Okay, and then you get there it is. Okay, I got it. Okay, so I've got two strips of tissue paper. One's purple and one's blue. But I don't want them to see the purple one, okay? So I'm going to put it in first before I show this trick to anybody. That's going to surprise them. So now you're going to show them that this is the water and it's the same length or a little bit even longer than my tube, than my magic wand. But if I put this in here, I'm going to make some wine. Abracadabra, whatever you want to say. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to turn it into wine. Are you sure? You think I can do it? Do you think I can do it? Oh, yes, I did. And it's longer than this too. Oh, pretty cool. I did. So that's a trick you could show all your friends too. But remember, these are just tricks. Jesus actually did make water into wine. So that's our easy one for this one, but this one's going to be a little bit harder. I made this one yesterday when I was just trying to test it out. In the handouts that I've sent you, you'll find one that looks like that. Okay, so I cut it out and I traced it on a piece of cardboard, and then I cut it out. So this is on a piece of cardboard. Okay, but I only put the glue around the edge of it. I cut a square or rectangle in the front of it, and I put the water in there. So now I'm going to change the water into wine. Whoop, there it is. Into wine. Pretty good, eh? So this one takes a little bit more cutting and gluing. Okay. So I'm using for this one Bristol board that's all glittery, but you can still use, like I said, the sparkles. I'm going to cut out the shape of the one that's in the handouts for you. I traced it on here. I'm just going to cut it out now. Okay. Now this is the one that's going to be the front. So I'm going to cut out the part that's going to change from water to wine. I'm just going to poke a hole in here. And I have already drawn it about the size of a ruler, about the width of a ruler there, and just about 6 inches down. Okay, so that's going to be the front. Okay, where is my back one? I've had it all ready here for you. Oh, I had it right here. Didn't see it. Okay, that's the one you're going to find in the handouts that you'll find online. And you're just going to cut that one out too. In the handouts, this is a little bit smaller than this is, but ask your mom, she can make it a little bit bigger before she prints it off for you, okay? You can have a bigger one. Okay. So this one is going to go on the back, like that. But I'm only going to glue around the edges because that's where the strip of purple and blue paper are going to go. I'm also going to cut just a little bit of a slit at the top here, so they'll have somewhere to put it in. There we go. Right? That should work. Okay, so more glue just around the edges. Then when you have these, you're going to go through that little slit that you made there. Down. And there's your water. Okay. And then you got your little purple one. And you say, and I'm turning the water into wine. There we go. So you can make 2 different kinds of water into wine. Okay. You can use either side that you want. You can choose yourself. Okay. Whatever you want to do. And then you color it and make it a amazing little jug there. And that's the 2 crafts that we have done for today. And don't forget to decorate them with stars and glitter and anything else that you want. And then you can perform a little bit of magic that Jesus did for real. All right? Now we're going to have a song. The song for today is called My God is So Great, So Strong, and So Mighty. He can do anything. And the miracles that he did are all written down in the Bible. So you can find out that, yeah, that's true. Jesus, through God, can do anything. And all we have to do is pray for a miracle for ourselves, and something will happen. Okay, let's sing the song about how great my God is. Ready? My God is so great, so strong, and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so great, so strong, and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. The mountains are his, the valleys are his, the stars are his handiwork too. My God is so great, so strong, and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. He made the seas, he made the breeze, he made the elephant too. My God is so great, so strong, and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do for you and you and you and you and me. Have fun learning that song. Play over and over again till you got it, because it's a really fun song. And I pray that this week will go really, really well for you, and that maybe you will see miracles happen, and you'll know that Jesus is with you. We'll see you next week.